let me give you 7 reasons why you should buy the VinFast VF8. I have owned this car for 3 months, and in the last 3 months, I've put about 2,500 kilometers on this car already. So I think I'm qualified to tell you why you should buy the VinFast VF8, whether it is in Vietnam or North America. There are actually a lot of good reasons to buy the VinFast VF8, but I've narrowed down to 7 top reasons why you should buy this car. And stay until you hear the reason number 7, because I think reason number 7 will surprise you. All right, it'll surprise you. So let's get to it. Why you should buy the VinFast VF8.
Hey Tom, it's the one and only Floyd Money Mayweather. First I want to say congratulations on your YouTube channel. Everybody needs to follow your YouTube channel. So what everyone needs to do is subscribe to Tom Peng. Great guy, great person. Tom, keep up the great work.
So there are actually some good reasons to buy the VinFast VF8, whether you're in Vietnam or North America. And today I'm going to give you 7 reasons I actually wrote down on my hand. And there are actually many other reasons, but I want to narrow it down to 7 of them. And some of the reasons are applicable in Vietnam, some of them are in North America, but I'm gonna give them nevertheless. So here we are. Reason number 1. Let's see. The reason number 1 is performance. This is not a performance-oriented car, okay? This car gives you 0 to 100 km/h speed or time in about 5.5 seconds. It does handle pretty well for a heavy car, 4-wheel drive. The performance of this vehicle is actually quite good for what it is, which is a comfortable cruiser. And it feels fast, even though, you know, on paper it's not a fast car. 5.5 seconds is nothing to be proud of, but it feels much faster. It feels much faster than that. Every time I says VinFast, it talks to me, and you know, I'm not talking to you. So that's a negative point. All right, shut the fuck up. Now, the performance, I would say, is quite good, and anybody that says otherwise, I don't think they're being fair. Now, I have driven pretty much every electric car available in North America, almost every one of them. I gotta look at you because you're looking at me to see if I'm looking at the road. I am looking at the road. Come on, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I am looking at the road, dude. Thank you. So I've driven every EVs in North America, almost every one of them, and I have to say that yeah, there are some vehicles that definitely have better performance than the VinFast VF8. Ioniq 5 being one of them. The Tesla Model X, you know, being a very expensive car, maybe double the price of this one, also has exemplary performance. But really, for the money that you're paying for this vehicle, you know, the performance is exceptional. So I gotta give, you know, a positive, a good reason for buying this car is performance, and that is speed, handling, and just basically the driving experience overall. Now, the number 2 reason why you should buy the VinFast VF8 is value. Okay, this one really applies to Vietnam, not so much in North America, but in Vietnam. Tell me what other car you can buy that gives you 402 horsepower, 5.5 seconds 0 to 100 time. Tell me what car can you get for this price. In Vietnam, it's about 700 million for the Eco, about 900 million for the Plus, which works out to be about, you know, 40,000-ish for the Plus. And in North America, I think the price is still somewhat in state of flux, but I think after certain adjustments, I think this will also be competitive. But in Vietnam, this is no question. At this present price point, there's nothing in this market that can match the value of this car, primarily because all car imports gets taxed heavily. And so if you want a high performance 400 plus horsepower car, this is the one to get at a very affordable price. Whereas in North America, you know, there's a lot more competition. and VinFast has to do more to stay competitive. But if I'm VinFast, I would not worry so much about, trying to price competitively. I would be more concerned about what unique selling point do I have with this car. And I want to focus on those unique selling points, but that's beside the point. Number 3 reason why you should buy this car is technology. I've shown you how well this car drives itself on the highway with the driving assistance feature turned on. It will follow the lane pretty well and without too much driver intervention or input. And that is only the beginning. VinFast has a strong desire to make this a technology showpiece. They want to show VinFast is a technology product. So the lane following feature we demonstrated earlier, that's just the beginning. You're gonna see a lot more driving assistance features coming to the VinFast brand and cars. And I think that's very exciting. As they roll out each of those features, I'm gonna show that to you. And buying a VinFast means that you're going to get continued software updates, continued enhancement. You're gonna get all those self-driving features coming soon to the brand. I think it's very exciting that we're enjoying a car that is very high technology. The number 4 reason why you should buy the VinFast VF8, and this might be a surprise to you, is the heads-up display. All right, when I got the VinFast VF8, I did not turn on the heads-up display right over there because I find that to be not so useful, and also it gives me dizziness when I use it, so I tend to turn it off. But after the latest firmware, and the heads-up display is actually quite useful now. It has many useful information, including things that are related to the driving assistance features. In fact, there are certain things in that display you need for the driving assistance feature. It's just so much easier to look at that than this. And the integration between the firmware and, let's say, Android Auto and the heads-up display, all the integration of the different systems actually is quite well done. So for example, I might be using Google Maps in Android Auto, and it's showing me the directions in the heads-up display, even though the directions are not coming from the native maps, but I still get all the information in the heads-up display, even if I'm using Android Auto. I thought that was actually quite well done. So I have to give a point to the heads-up display. I think it's actually quite useful, and now I cannot drive without it. It's always turned on. So the number 5 reason why you should buy the VinFast VF8 is distinctiveness. All right, if you buy the VinFast VF8 in North America, I guarantee you have a very rare car. You are very distinctive. All right, you have a car that nobody else has. Even in Vietnam, there's not that many VinFast VF8. There's a lot of them at charging stations, but otherwise it's pretty hard to spot them on the road. So when you drive a VinFast VF8, you're gonna be distinctive. You're gonna have a car that nobody knows about, and it's a conversation piece. What car is that? They're gonna ask you, right? It is a VinFast. It is a Vietnamese-made electric car. Now that is a conversation starter. And I have to say that the VinFast exterior styling is very sexy, right? It looks like a sporty car. It looks like it's some exotic European car that nobody knows about. And if you look at the interior, it looks luxurious. There are some parts that are not so cool, the hard plastic, but otherwise visually on first inspection it looks like a nice cabin. So when you drive a VinFast VF8, whether you're in Vietnam or North America or in any other market, you're gonna drive a very distinctive, unique car. Now, number 6, the number 6 reason why you should buy the VinFast VF8 is the charging network in Vietnam. Not so much in North America, but if you're in Vietnam, really you should buy a VinFast, because VinFast has the best charging network bar none. In fact, there is no other charging network. There's only the VinFast charging network, and it's only exclusive to VinFast cars. So if you want to buy an electric car in Vietnam, there's really no other choice. But if you're in the North American market, then that's a bit different, because Tesla has the best charging network that's exclusive to the Tesla cars. And there's many other charging networks, but they're not as prevalent or good coverage as Tesla charging network. So in North America, you would have a disadvantage in terms of where you can charge the car. Basically, it'll be like any other electric car except the Tesla. But in Vietnam, the charging network is actually getting much better than, let's say, even 8 months ago. Now there's charging station everywhere, and in malls, especially at Vin Group properties, and they're everywhere. But also there's a lot more VinFast cars on the road, so there's a lot more cars charging at these charging stations. Even then, I never had a problem finding a charging station when I needed it. And also the quality of the charging station is getting so much better. Before, it's possible charging stations are down when you need it, but now the charging stations are very reliable. I generally have no problems with charging the VinFast at charging stations. So the charging network is improving dramatically. The coverage is excellent in Vietnam. I gotta give a point for that to VinFast. So the number 7 reason why you should buy the VinFast VF8 is, and this one I think will surprise many people that I would say this, and that is the VinFast VF8 is a very safe car. It is a very heavy car. If you open the door, you close the door, you would know the door is fucking heavy. Fucking cat! Ah, motherfucker! There's a fucking cat that just came out. Holy shit. Almost killed a pussy there, man. Everything about this car is built like a fucking tank. And when I drive this car, it feels like a heavy truck, actually. That's the feeling I get when I drive this VinFast VF8. I mean, I have compared with many other different EVs in North America, and all EVs feel heavy, but particularly the VinFast VF8 feels heavier. And it just goes to show that this car is very sturdily built. All right, it's very tough. And let me tell you, I've driven this car really hard, all over the place, on road, off road, everywhere. Okay, and I push this car to the limit. I stress it very much so. I mean, I haven't got into any crashes with this car yet, but I do believe that if I do get into a crash with this car will come out fairly well. Not sure about the other car, all right? Especially if it's one of those subcompact, compact cars available in Vietnam, then I think they're gonna do terribly, and this car is actually gonna come out unscathed even. This reminds me of a car that I used to own. I was the second owner of that car. And I remember what happened was the first owner, not me, the first owner bought the car and he didn't really drive it. All he did was basically taking the mainspring, the wrap off the car. That's all he did. And then I bought the car. And you know me, when I drive a car, I drive it hard. I drive it to its limits, and I take that car on road, off road. I take it to races, I take it to racetracks. You know, I drive it real hard. You know, there are 2 pipes at the back of the car. I drive the car so hard, the pipes were so bent out of shape. The shape of the pipes was, you know, deformed. And in fact, one of the pipes fell off the back of the car, right? And I drove the car so hard, I got into crashes, I bump it, I scratch it. By the end of my ownership of that car, the car was so beat up. It was so beat up. And you know, I did horrible things to that car. And then eventually I sold that car, and I don't know where that car went. And then I guess the car was sold to the third owner by some dealership. And the third owner thought it was a new car. for whatever reason, he thought it was a new car. And he really took care of that car. In fact, when he was test driving the car, before he even bought the car, he took very good care of it. He wouldn't actually enter the car normally. He would actually enter the car from the back because he doesn't want to ruin the car, okay? So he entered the car from the back, and only after he committed to buy the car, then he would enter the car normally, okay? And that's how much he cared about that car, and he really took good care of it. Didn't know that I owned that car previously until one day, I guess he was searching like something on Daily Motion or YouTube or some video site, and he found a video of me driving that car so hard, and then he finally realized it wasn't a new car when he bought it. But he already fell in love with that car, so he's not gonna like do anything about it. And besides, he's got 2 other smaller cars in his car family now, so he decided to just keep that car forever. So that is my car story. So what I'm trying to say is that this car is as sturdy or maybe even more sturdy than the car I once owned. And I feel like this is a very safe car because it's been built with safety in mind, and I think it will fare fairly well in crashes. And as of this filming, I don't believe there's any kind of crash rating done for this car. And I do believe that when the crash testing results come out for this vehicle, the VinFast VF8, it's gonna be like very good, okay? It's gonna be like 4 or 5 stars. That's my prediction, all right? I don't know for sure, but I do feel this car will do very well in car crash testings. And because I know it's fairly well built, it feels very heavy, and you know, it feels like it's a very strong car, all right? These are the 7 reasons why you should buy the VinFast VF8, all right? So take some fucking action, look into the VinFast VF8, and don't be a fucktard.